Hey YouTube, let's talk Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Honestly, this game brings back a ton of nostalgia for me. Modern Warfare 2 is probably when I first started playing Call of Duty, and then I pretty much have played every single game since then. I think the only one I didn't play was Vanguard, and I'm sure a lot of you can agree with why. But the new Modern Warfare 2 is a lot of fun so far. It brings back a lot of nostalgia. I mean, there's nothing quite like hearing prepubescent kids scream at the top of their lungs in between search and destroy matches, and it just doesn't get better than that. I mean, one thing that's blatantly obvious is that Activision's Be Nice policy is a bigger joke than Blizzard's office sexual harassment policy. To be fair, asking the average Call of Duty player to be nice in between sips of Mountain Dew is like asking teenagers to be abstinent. The only thing they're going to abstain from is being a virgin. When it comes to actual gameplay, however, this game is Call of Duty. If that's what you're looking for, it's a great game. You're going to get what you want. You're going to get a classic Call of Duty game where you go in and you shit on teenagers and you get out and have a good day, or you rage. It's Call of Duty. There are a few problems, however. First off, it seems like Activision's doing this thing where they pander to newer players who just have never touched FPS before, and I really just don't understand that. And then they also just seem like they're pandering to players who don't know how to turn their monitor on. I know that's a pretty simple thing, but it seems like some of these players actually struggle with that. Instead of releasing a statement like "Get Good Kid" or details instructions on how to turn your monitor on, they decided to do things like get rid of slide canceling, helping out kids who sit in a corner like mom and dad are finding in the next room while they wait for a player whose parents actually love them to come along, and get a free kill. But instead of showing up on the minimap like they used to, there's no ping, even without a silencer. Not that slide canceling was a particularly good mechanic. It was taking advantage of a glitch in the movement system, but it did make the movement a little more three-dimensional. It made it a little more fun instead of just running in a straight line forever, especially in like Warzone where you're running for a long time. It made it a little more entertaining, and that's not really a bad thing, but it did get rid of a skill gap, getting rid of it. And it wasn't even that hard of a skill gap to learn. All you had to do was practice it a little bit, and you could get there eventually. But they didn't want to do that because they want people to just be able to pick it up and not have to do that, I guess. Not that slide canceling was particularly a good mechanic. When it comes to the map changes, it seems a little bit strange to me. It seems dumb. They're basically making silencers more useless than the Great Wall of China. I mean, they do less damage, but it makes your gun quiet, I guess. But there's no other perk than that. I mean, the perk before was you didn't show up on the minimap, and it was nice. But now that it's just not there. It is still good, however, for the adults who still wet the bed. All in all, though, it just seems like they're trying to make the game easier and more fair for kids who either lost or are missing their WASD keys or their left thumbstick. I guess I didn't realize there was such a big pandemic with people breaking into the average Call of Duty camper's house, going into the basement, going into their private tent, and stealing their movement keys or left thumbstick. I feel like the most impressive thing, though, isn't the fact that they found the time when that greasy little gremlin actually went to sleep or went outside and breathed fresh air for the first time in months. It's the fact that they didn't wake up their parents while they stole them. I mean, back in the day, Call of Duty did not pander to new players at all. You would go into lobbies and just go 3 and 42 and get shit talked by both teams till you learn how to play. I mean, as a kid, it was almost a rite of passage. It adds character for every gamer. I mean, those first few games were a long grind, just sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard and only getting above that when someone was AFK. It was a rite of passage, and I feel like we're just taking that away from these children nowadays. Moving on from my childhood trauma, the game's time to kill feels a little fast. It feels like a toddler could walk up to you with a wet noodle and limp wrists slap you across the face, and you would die. Which is great for hardcore players, but for core players who actually touch grass once a quarter, it just feels a little fast. Granted, the game still plays fun, and it's not that bad, but it does seem a little fast. And they turned it up a little bit since the beta, I feel like. The beta was really bad, but so I feel like the game's getting closer to a good place. We'll see if they keep tweaking it a little bit in the future. The new gunsmith in the game feels interesting. Once you get past the confusion, and I mean, they're not really clear with everything. Like, sometimes the stuff doesn't pop up or it tells you how to actually unlock attachment. But once you figure out how to do it, it's pretty simple. You just have to level up every gun in the section, so assault rifles, until you get all the attachments for all the guns. Which is a pretty good way to kind of spread the meta, to make it so you can't just play with one gun all the time, or just, I mean, it makes it so you have to actually unlock everything, which is nice. One other new feature coming to Call of Duty is a completely original, never before seen game mode, Escape from Tarkov. Sorry, I mean DMZ. which could end up being a ton of fun. I mean, I don't know if I'll like it exactly, because Tarkov for me is definitely a little hard. And that's definitely just because my small brain can't wrap itself around the ammo system. Make it so you don't feel like you're shooting someone with marshmallows. And that's really just small brain on my part, but I just can't get into it. The campaign and some other game modes have shown the AI that Call of Duty is going to have, and it seems a little bit more advanced than Fortnite's bots that they added when the player base died off. But it's still not, I don't know, it doesn't seem like anything impressive. I mean, it's still not actual online play, but we'll see how it is. I still don't know how good that game mode will be, but I am interested to play it in the long run. Overall, though, the game is a blast. I do recommend getting it, even though the price tag of $70, which is to make up for their lack of being able to make good skins that people actually want to buy. But overall, I've been having a ton of fun out of it, and thank you for watching the video. And if you liked it, don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Have fun raging, gamers.